I don't know what y'all did in the pandemic, nor do I care. I didn't do a lot of productive things. I'm gonna be the first to tell you. I got agoraphobia a little bit. I kind of broke down mentally. But one of the things I did was I changed my goddamn name. I changed my own name. I changed it. You can do it too, turns out. I did it, so we're gonna talk about me. A lot led up to it. I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I knew it had to go, the old one, the dead name, if you will. I knew that didn't fit. If you've ever been to a party or an orgy or whatever, you ever just accidentally put on someone else's jacket? You're like, what? It looks just like mine. This is not mine. Have you ever accidentally put on someone else's mask? And you're like, it is also the same color, but I didn't eat tuna fish today, so. This is wrong. That's how it felt. And I didn't know what the new one was gonna be, so I started workshopping it with friends, as you do, right? You start pitching ideas, and I have honest friends. And every week or so, I'd come up with a new one, be like, AJ, and they're like, we hate that. That's disgusting. Don't ever go by that. So sorry if that's your name, but it's bad. And it's a weird thing to pick your own name when you're like a full-grown adult, because you have to go through your whole life. I don't know if you've ever named a kid. I think it might be kind of similar to that, but it's like even more personal. Like a kid, you can be like, you're never gonna remember Natalie, and fuck Natalie, you know what I mean? But for me, like, I remember Natalie, so I can't, and I need a non-binary name. And what is that? No one knows. So I was looking around, and I was really trying to figure out what it was to me to have a name that fit, that suited me, that felt like the jacket that I came to the party with, you know what I mean? And I was looking around and going through, honestly, just like a whole list of nouns, and that weren't it. We tried river and leaf and weather patterns, you know what I mean? Just anything. And then I started to look at my family, and I've never really had I've never been one of those people that had like a really big like connection feeling to my family. I have like a couple people, and they're all dead now. Sorry, they're gone, but they're dead. And I had like two that I really liked, and one of them was a guy, so I was like, I don't know if a guy name really fits me. But then I remembered that my grandfather had this really cool, I thought, really cool middle name, and it was Arlo. Spoiler alert. And I remember growing up with this man and knowing acutely that he's a different person to me than who raised my father. And I think that we all have that intergenerational relationships where it's like, I know he was a prick to you, but he's like so cool. Like he taught me how to read, and then he taught me how to count cards, like immediately. Like, what about us? Like, my favorite. So I picked my name, and I told my friend on Twitch first. I came out on Twitch, which is like the most millennial, anyway. And they were so warm about it that I got suspicious of them. And I was like, there's no way that everyone's just so cool about you just like changing your name. But it really was so easy. Everyone just like, great, update your Discord. This is for 3 people. Update your Instagram. Update your Facebook. And I started practicing telling my family by not telling my family, you know? Like I told my manager first, like my like professional comedy manager, and she's mean. So first thing out of her mouth was, you didn't think about changing your last name? Okay. Well, back to the drawing board. But she said, great, it's fine. And I was concerned that all the things that I'd done under my old name wouldn't follow for my new name. It felt like I was gonna be starting over. And it was just kind of fine. It's not hard to find people, you're the same picture turns out kind of similar. It's absolutely fine. I was dreading the call to my dad because he's just, I don't know, have you met him? He's just, I remember asking my dad before I changed my name that I am non-binary, and I remember feeling no gender before I ever felt a gender, and when I did, it felt imposed on me. And I said, have you ever felt that? Do you remember the first time that you felt gender? And he brought up a story about, he remembers the black kid he went to high school with, so I don't think. I know, right? That we were like on the same, you know what I mean? I don't think, listening is not his best skill. So I was dreading the call, and I get on and I do the video chat because I get to see their stupid faces. And also make sure that he doesn't just get up and walk away. Like, just sit, and I got to tell you something. And he's been married to my stepmom for 20 years, and she's known me for my whole adult life, and she's great. We weren't worried about her. I sit him down on Zoom, and I'm like, I've got something to tell you, and it's going to be, how do I say this, annoying. There, I said it. It's just going to be annoying. It's going to be annoying. I know it's annoying because I've already messed up. The first person that I met, I screwed up my own name. And I had this idea, this like rigid thinking idea that you've got to be perfect with it. If you change your name, you've just got to be pristine. You've got to be perfect. You've got to be the most. I screwed up 2 whole times. I met a new person in the middle of the pandemic, and I said my old name and then screamed my new name. It's a weird overcorrection, and I think she thinks I'm in witness protection. So I'm sweating bullets, I'm stressed out because I don't know if he's gonna be into this, and it's also his father's middle, that's a lot. So I just tell him, I gotta tell, Pop, there's been some executive decisions. I've changed my name. It's Arlo. Can you please call me Arlo? And he said, like comedically? Yes, and also full time, like for my whole name, for my real life, alive name. And he said, but not me though, right? I said, no, this is to you. You're the recipient. You're the person I'm coming out to, Pop. I'm telling you, can you please call me Arlo? He goes, well, yeah, fucking of course, no problem. Oh, okay. It's been fine. He's been amazing at it. Pronouns, not his strong suit whatsoever. Not great. Arlo, he's taken. My stepmom came up with a new nickname for me. She calls me Orlito Mio. My dad calls me Arlo every day on the phone. He also still introduces himself as my father on every voicemail he's ever left me. Pronouns we're still working on. And also being nice to his kid now, not his daughter, his kid. He introduced me to his friend, and he was very proud of himself, and you know he was proud of himself because he stood like this. And he said, this is my kid, Arlo. And his friend said, oh my God, you look just like him. You know that in the eyes? And he said, I don't think my eyes are so close together, but okay. Thank you guys so much.